All right, so listen, I want to ask my brother Steve a question because we've actually spoken on it, a couple of times, and he's mentioned it just with regard to his story and his struggle, adversities, overcomings, triumphs, and things of that nature, as we all have in life, and just coming to being an owner at 68 J Street. And he's so cool. This spot is so cool. It's like what I appreciate about it is about the culture. It's about the artist culture. It's about life. It's not about color, and I really dig that, what I'm saying? I'm from the Bronx, uptown, Soundview, shout out, you know what I mean? But I really like this spot right here, we go different places, around Paris, Amsterdam, Belgium. We try to visit with the Urban Wall Street, tap into different cultures. But one thing I always love about Steve and I respect about him was his forthcoming nature with regard to a part of his upbringing, his life. And that was the fact that his grandfather he said KKK, right? And his grandfather stopped being a member of the KKK, but something had to happen. Now, I'm not gonna tell you what happened for his grandfather to leave that life alone and turn to a different side of perspective, but I want him to tell you what it was that changed his grandfather's life. Steve, when you were young, and your grandfather, you tell me, we spoke, and you said he was a member of he was KKK. KKK, that's what it is. It is what it is, right? Ain't no shame.
Burn the cross.
Right, he ain't no shame. I'm not mad at him for what his grandfather would have done or did. No matter, I would want him to hold me accountable for somebody that my grandfather or somebody did, no matter what it was, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be held accountable for nobody else. But I want to ask a question. Growing up as a kid, what made you not want to have the same mindset as your grandfather?
My father and I had a very difficult relationship. He was a World War II vet, and he was very violent. My grandfather and I were best friends. He could tell me anything, any story, and I would listen. But does that mean I have to agree? If you see in West Virginia the hounds that chase the young black boy to go to prison, it was his hounds. And he told me stories, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 300 African Americans died, were dumped into the river, and he was there.
Wow.
And
even the dog is whimpering.
And
I know.
I didn't believe him. And then there was a documentary. I didn't believe him. I was 12 years old when he told me that story. I didn't believe him. I thought that was bullshit. My grandmother Agnes, just like Anne Frank, hid black families in the attic. And my grandfather is a part of the KKK. And they're hiding black people in the fucking attic.
So your grandfather
I didn't understand the
juxtaposition.
The juxtaposition between how you treated human beings as non-human, but you understood that they were human. And then my grandfather had a farm in Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. And there was the Tobacco River on the back of the farm. That was the line of the back of the farm. Now, if a black family came into the driveway, and we're talking 1950s and 1960s, and they asked Mr. West if they could go down and fish, he'd say absolutely. If a white family was down on the river and they did not ask permission, the 12 gauge came out and they were walked off the property. I didn't understand. You understand? I didn't understand as a young child. How could you have such racist views but be so loving and kind? You know, so that is what I've tried to encompass in my life.
But you don't have racist views, though, Steve. Like you don't.
Oh, of course I do.
You do?
Of course I do.
You do?
Of course I do.
Okay, because it's
You know,
it's
if
innate.
there's a group of black kids, I'll be very cautious. You know.
But do you think a group of black kids are cautious when they see a group of white men?
Exactly.
Right? It goes both ways.
I'm honest. You know, we all need to be honest and just say, you know, yep, I'm racist. And that's the only way we'll stop.
But do you think you're racist, Steve? You might have, you said racist tendencies or prejudices. Because sometimes we have prejudices which not necessarily the level of racism. Because I don't feel you as a racist, Steve. I've been coming to your spot for 3 years. I don't view you as a racist.
No, man, we have so much fun.
Right.
We have so much love
Right.
for each
That's
other.
what I'm saying.
But I want to say that deep inside that unconsciousness, that level of learning, when there's a gun in every corner of my house due to the Detroit riots, and they were going to be used, I learned that. But I've tried to unlearn it. You know, I'm 67 years old. I went through the Vietnam issue. I went through fucking Donald Trump and his white supremacist views, and I knew they were always there. Always there. They never left. Everybody goes like, oh no, we're a great nation, blah, blah. Obama was elected. Bullshit. The white supremacists have never left.
No.
And you know, this world needs to change. And that's what we're gonna fucking do.
You heard it. 68 J Street. My man Steve West. Yo, you already know this is 100 right here. We global, man. This is an international community. International community. That's my brother Steve West. I got mad love. Y'all know how I am. I'm definitely pro my people, progressive, whatever. But I'm for the progress, not at the denigration of nobody else. We got to do this, but we can do this together. We all one people. Yo, shout out to my man Steve West, 68 J Street. You heard? Urban Wall Street.